Welcome back to Geeks Are Sexy. I'm Michelle Davis, the social media MD, and we're live in Las Vegas at the Gene Woods Racing Experience, the fastest go-karts in Las Vegas. Check them out, racingexperiencelv.com. So are you ready for some social media tips? Well, I'm going to talk about the 11 social media tips that you do not want to do. So let's get started with some social media geeky tips. So I'm all over social media. I want to help you guys and tell you some things that may get you a stronger feedback on your clients or your posts or whatever you're trying to reach out there on your social media. So let's get started with the list. 11 things that you should stop doing in social media. Let's begin with number 1. Auto-posting Facebook posts to Twitter. I am totally guilty of this. I've tried so many times not to have my Twitter connect to my Facebook, but once you put that connection button on, it's so hard to figure out not to do it anymore. I post on Twitter, it goes directly to my Facebook. Sometimes I have to delete those posts because it's just too much. I don't want some of my Twitter posts to go on my Facebook because it's just too much information. I want to just keep it fresh, keep it easy, keep it light. And when you have so many tweets that you're shouting out, sometimes if you post it on your Facebook profile, it can get overwhelming. So you want to make sure that you keep it authentic. You just post on Twitter, you keep it on Twitter. If you post on Facebook, keep it on Facebook. It can get confusing. So number 2, overusing hashtags. I know everybody is so hashtag crazy on Instagram, but sometimes it's just not necessary. You typically only need about 4 or 5 hashtags to go with your Instagram post, but I know a lot of people go for days on Instagram thinking that go for days on hashtagging on Instagram thinking the more hashtags I put, well then more people will be checking out my picture or more people will be liking what I've put. But in actuality, less is more, so you want to think about just putting a couple hashtags that are related exactly to what you are wanting to post. Yes, some of the hashtags like follow for follow or pick of the day or even Instagram has hundreds of millions of times that it has been used. So once in a while, don't be afraid to kind of go out and throw out a follow for follow or a pick of the day, even if you're just trying to be fresh and creative. Use some of those, but don't use too many. So number 3 is posting too much content at once. And this is one of the things that I highly recommend is make sure that you have a good social media schedule that you're going to be posting probably 3 hours in between each post. I know that if I go to Facebook and then if I go to Twitter and then if I go to Instagram, I want to make sure that all of those are just staying on that social media feed. I don't want it to go anywhere else because if it does, it's going to be overwhelming seeing all of these posts that I posted all at once. I think some people just want, once again, just want quality over quantity. So some of the other tips I want to tell you guys about is Crowdfire. Crowdfire is just like justunfollow.com. I have a little video so you guys know exactly what I'm talking about on this next rule. So I'm going to go ahead and play you guys Crowdfire, watch it, and I'll explain it to you after the video.
Hey, brilliant business moms, it's Beth Ann. I just want to tell you about one more Twitter tool that I think is pretty cool, and it's free, which I love. I think a lot of you guys are still on a tight budget perhaps as you're starting your businesses, so we are all about free tools that help you to get your job done. So this is justunfollow.com, and so if you just sign up and link your Twitter account, what you can do from here is unfollow people who are not following you, so you can kind of clean up who you're following on Twitter. Here's where you would go. Just click this non-followers right there. So I've got 773 people that I'm following that aren't following me back. The reason this is important is because until you reach a certain follow ratio, you can only follow 2,000 people on Twitter. Okay, so here I am. I just Googled Twitter follow limits and it brings me to Twitter's page where they teach me all about this. So every account can follow 2,000 users total. And then from there, however many more you can follow is based on your ratio of followers to following. The ratio is not published, so that's interesting. So again, this is why it can be important when you're just starting out to clean out people who aren't following you back. Now, a few of those you'll want to keep around because maybe it's Crystal Payne, Money Saving Mom, and you love all of her content. So you still want to follow her on Twitter, even if she's, most likely she's not going to follow you back, which is fine. So you want to consider that because maybe you followed a few people that you thought, oh, cool, she talks about, blogging and gives great advice. I'm going to follow her. But like, if they don't ever reciprocate, then maybe you're like, I'm not interested. Like some of these people, we followed them to kind of connect and be like, okay, they talk about similar things as we talk about, but they didn't follow us back. So maybe I will want to delete them. I'm going to keep them on, and same with Gary Vaynerchuk because he's just a social media master. Mindy Kaling I just think is hilarious, so I'm going to keep following her. But at any rate, let me come down here and find some people. Some of these too, I don't know if you notice when you first sign up for Twitter, it makes you follow a certain number of people in all these different categories, which is a bit annoying. So I have stuff on there that's like completely things that I'm not interested in. So this whole thing, no, I don't care about that. This guy, he says he's a marketing strategist, but there's much bigger names out there that I care about. So I'm going to delete a lot of these people, and you can just see how quick this is to go through and do this. Amy Porterfield and Pat Flynn, I love these guys. I'm going to keep them around. And Horse Feathers Gifts, they are a great small business who does a good job on social media, so I will keep following them. So you get the idea. That's how you would go through and just clean out and unfollow people.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed that video. If you want to see the rest of it, go to my Facebook page, The Social Media MD, and I'll post that video for you. So we're talking about the 11 things you should stop doing in social media. I'm Michelle Davis, thesocialmediamd.com. You can get more information and even get a free consultation with me, and I can go over all of the social media apps with you. So we're on number 4. You want to ask people to follow you back, and you want to unfollow people who don't follow you back. You can go to Crowdfire or justunfollow.com. Those are great apps to use, and they work. So number 5 is posting too many quotes. We've already gone over that. And I want to go on to number 6 is using fake names on LinkedIn. You definitely want to stick to just your name so you're not confusing anybody else. If you have a performance name or if you have a stage name, then correct it with exactly who you are, your name, and then of course AKA, known as, and provide them with some scriptures or videos of your performance and exactly who you are so it shows that is valuable with the name of the nickname you are using. So number 8 is keep using your social media accounts private. You want to make sure that nobody else can go and spam and put any nudie pictures on your profile. That can be really annoying. So making sure that your profile is staying private, and that way you can share exactly what is on there and you know it's on there. So number 9 is pitching brands publicly. These are some of the things that can get a little irritating is when you have a clothing company or a makeup company and you have people that say, send me products, I'd love to promote it on my show. Those are some of the things that's not going to make you look authentic. You want to make sure that you go and you get a hold of the company, you write a message to them, you make it personal so that way you create that relationship with them. And it's not just so centered towards making a comment suggesting that they should be sending you free products. So number 10 is relying too much on collaborative boards on Pinterest. Some of the things on Pinterest that you don't want to share too much is too many boards going on too many different subjects. You want to be very strict and very precise on what you're going to be posting so that way it correlates for the exact board that you want to be promoting. And of course, last but not least, is posting exact same message on the pic everywhere. You want to make sure that if you're posting to Twitter, it's just on Twitter. If you're posting to Facebook, just on Facebook. Make sure that you don't share these connections together. It can get really too much overloaded, and before you know it, people are not interested. So I'm going to play a video for you, believe it or not, celebrities that don't use social media. So that way you know social media isn't just everything out there. Some people don't use it, and that's okay. So we're going to get started on this video, and when I get back, I'm going to talk on how you can make money with social media.